Hey, it's Joshua Meeks with the PNW team at Keller Williams Realty, and you are watching the September PNW monthly market update. September has been, as expected, a little bit extreme, both in the sense of real estate and in the climate. There have been fires throughout the Pacific Northwest and a lot of other places in the world, and that has impacted the real estate market and the economy. That has impacted homes that we were actually under contract on. There's a little addendum that we had been including for a while during the initial parts of the COVID crisis called the force majeure, which essentially states that if anything happens that we did not expect to happen, that could be considered kind of an act of God or extreme environmental circumstances, then the contract could get extended. And those had started to fade out for a little while. And then when there were fires everywhere and we thought maybe some of the houses that we were currently under contract on could burn to the ground, we started adding these force majeure contracts or addendums to the contracts once again. Now, fortunately, we're out here towards the end of September, and it is raining outside and the fires are gone, and we are now into fall already. But for a minute there were some additional considerations for the real estate market that were impacting not only real estate, but the economy and people and lives, and especially those whose homes had been really jeopardized, and some that actually had burned down in the Pacific Northwest. So our hearts are with those people and their families that had been really difficult to deal with over the last few weeks. As far as real estate goes, what we're starting to see is a slight decrease in the amount of homes available. Last month we saw around 9,000 homes available on the market. Right now we're seeing 8,600 homes available, which is actually a little bit up year over year from this time last year. This time last year there were around 7,500 homes going under contract. This month we have 10,500 homes that have recently gone under contract. I mean, looking at the trajectory right now in this yield between the amount of homes that are continuing to go under contract, especially comparatively to this time last year, there has at some point and over the next month or two, it's got to slow down a little bit as far as the amount of buyers that are going under contract on homes. And fortunately, this is around the time of year where we start to see that demand decrease a little bit. Now, will that happen this year? For sure, who knows, because there are certainly great interest rates still out there and a lot of buyers that have been really trying hard and getting outbid on trying to get an offer accepted over the last 9 months throughout this year. Price per square foot, we saw on average homes go from around $287 per square foot to $298 per square foot. If you're doing the math, that's almost a 3% increase on average in prices over a month time period. Now, around this time, we usually see prices decrease a little bit, price per square foot. So just keep that in mind. That's not a pattern that we anticipate that will continue to grow, but it's very likely as we get towards October, November, December, January, the average price per square foot actually decreases historically a little bit before it ticks up again in the new year. But if you're paying attention to the trends, we just haven't been near $300 per square foot in the Pacific Northwest on average prior to this month. Average homes are selling for around 100% of list price and are on the market around 26 days on market. Depending on which area you're in, a lot of these homes are getting 5, 6, 7, 20 offers within the first few days. Even on our team, we've been outbid on offers plenty of times. So if you're other buyer agents out there, just know that you're not the only person in that boat, but there are specific, clear, and effective strategies for getting your offers accepted a lot more often without having to put all of your buyer's risk in one basket, without having to waive all of their contingencies. There are a lot of effective ways of getting offers accepted. So if you're a buyer in this market, just know also this is historically, statistically, the time of year where it becomes a little bit easier to get offers accepted. Now, is that going to be the case? Usually a lot of that has to do with the school year, and that's looking a little bit different this year. Usually a lot of people, as we start settling into September, October, say, hey, I don't want to move school districts with my kid in the middle of the year. I don't want to be moving while it's raining, and there are a lot of people that are now working from home, doing school from home, living from home, building memories from home, finding entertainment at home. So that is a little bit of a variable compared to previous years, because everything is taking place in the home and people are possibly willing to try a little bit harder to continue their home buying endeavor right into the fall and winter months. if it means that school is not looking like it used to, work is not looking like it used to, and it's not a dramatic impact on their everyday life. Lastly is months of inventory. We have just less than a month of inventory on the market at 0.9 months, consistent with what we actually had on the market last month. So that is extremely low interest rates. There are significantly lower interest rates than we've seen historically. And talk to your local refinance or purchase loan officer or bank, because some changes might be happening in the mortgage industry. Specifically, there may be additional costs incurred for refinancing a home over the next month or two, but it looks like that's been punted out a little bit. So just keep in contact with your mortgage broker. Make sure that you know what interest rates are. None of us can predict what they're going to be, but we can tell you what certain specific policies look like right now and how that could impact the real estate market and the interest rates for mortgages. Lastly, elections are coming up soon, and a lot of people tend to, kind of put the brakes on a little bit when we're moving into an election year, because there is arguably more uncertainty regarding how that's going to impact the real estate market. Now, whether or not, somebody on the right or the left gets elected, whether or not everybody's happy with how the election goes, I'm still fairly confident that based off of the inventory, based off of the demand, based off of other economic metrics in the Pacific Northwest, it looks like a fairly sustainable real estate market. However, this is the time every 4 years when a lot of buyers and sellers will tend to pull back a little bit and make the decision to wait until we get through the election to make a more definitive decision for their family. So could that impact the real estate market? Possibly. We'll continue to keep you updated on the PNW monthly market update in October, November, December, and right into 2021 to let you know how it's going. And as always, feel free to reach out anytime, call, text, email, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you might find us for more questions on the real estate market in your specific area. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.